Jeez, guys, between B-Lord, Power Foe, and like maybe other NA players, I might have to just start drinking a little bit sooner than I had anticipated. Because holy NA moly, we haven't had. I feel like when we actually ran the specific North American qualifiers, much less like the first qualifiers went fine too. Like this one has just brought out the worst in people. I don't know why, but apparently it is. Again, I'm not going to read you what B-Lord wrote, but man, I'm just like shaking my head here. Like we've been running our tournaments the way we've been running them for 3 years. If he doesn't like the way that the server selection works, then that's unfortunate, but I really truly don't believe that you can blame that series on lag, and I'm just going to stand by that statement as being foolish.
Agreed.
But I am super excited because MaSa and GameTime play next. Are these guys both East Coast, or how do they work? I don't actually know. We're in Central again.
They didn't mention anything.
I'll stick to Central then.
So.
MaSa versus GameTime, TvZ, best of 3. Get in here.
Get in here. I'm pretty sure that's not Deckard Cain.
Everybody, get in here.
But I love that you, like, that's the voice that you went with for everybody get in here.
I was really going for Deckard Cain. My name is Deckard Cain, and I come from Tristram. If you're looking for Diablo, then you just missed him.
What is it? Can you do a Bane and a Deckard Cain voice?
I don't know. Because the Haradrim, they didn't care until they put on the mask.
Yay! I like when Riffin plays with voices.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're getting into game number 1. This is the winners bracket semifinals. In the bottom left, we do have the most recently impressive yellow Zerg player from Sloth Esports. It's game time.
In the top right, as the blue Terran for Elevate C2, it is MaSa.
MaSa, of course, recently having a bit of, I guess we'll say, downtime or bad feelings or whatever from him not getting to WCS. And that's unfortunate. That being said, I know he lives, like, I'm pretty sure he's in Toronto or at least Ontario. So for him to qualify and win this would be great. It's a hometown thing. He doesn't have to travel across the country for it. And, of course, he would actually probably be one of the favorites to make at least top 4 in the tournament.
Yeah. When, like, MaSa is usually that guy that you really honestly don't even think about. But then he arrives in a tournament, and they're mostly NA tournaments, and that's part of the reason. But and he just does so well, and he wins it like sometimes like no problem whatsoever. And you're like, oh right, MaSa's really good.
You know that logic where it's like I eat my opponent's heart, so I gain their courage. Like I really don't think much of MaSa, and then he kills Scarlet all the time, and we all talk about Scarlet. She's so good, and this, that, and the other. Then he beats Scarlet in tournaments like it's nothing. You're like, oh, well, by process of like elimination, he must be the best.
I love that like. Scarlet is such like a weird in-between like pro player because she is the person that will defeat the Koreans and everyone's hyped about it, but then she goes back to like her hometown and like MaSa suddenly like kicks her down, and then Puck even gives her some trouble, like not lately of course, but like once upon a time like Huck and Puck were just totally winning and all the TvZs against her, and you're like, where exactly is she? But yeah, MaSa, he didn't do so well in WCS Austin either. So I think that for him, it's not just that he didn't get into WCS, which he probably thought he was going to, but also that it didn't go so well.
I can't recall what his group was, but I remember looking at it thinking, like, that's a really unfortunate group for him, though. So I don't think it's like MaSa is like a player who's fallen from grace. He's still pretty good.
No. But I think emotionally, he was pretty torn up after the Austin thing. Or so I've heard. I didn't like really talk to him and see him cry or something like that, but so I heard. And then there is like, I think someone was talking about their expectations about qualifiers, but I can't remember who it was. Damn. I wish I did. Maybe someone will bring it up. But the point is, they were like, it was Igus. That's right, in the interview that he did recently.
Oh,
where he was
cool.
like, I expect to win the qualifiers, and then when I go to the actual event, I don't have that high of like expectations for myself. But if I lose a qualifier, then that's something like really like digs me deep. Yeah, and then I think like MaSa is kind of along the same lines where like he usually wins anything that's NA, and not to is weird for him.
Well, maybe he's a patch Terran. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to make that joke. MaSa's actually good. It's not worth the bad humor, but I am curious actually where GameTime sits. You know, we're talking this whole time, MaSa, and he is the favorite. I think there's no question about it. But GameTime did have such a big upswing. He dethroned Thermal, who is, in my opinion, like one of the best foreign Terrans, has been for a while, specifically at this matchup on top of that. And we got to cast those games, and it wasn't like, oh, you know, GameTime did some proxy hatcheries and some weird shit that like people just don't know how to deal with. He just played a straight up good macro game, and I think if he can bring that to this game, MaSa will find himself maybe in some trouble. It's worth noting too, MaSa's not the type of guy. We're not gonna see like question marks of like mech. There may be like a Hellbat push or something mixed in, but we're not gonna see anything weird out of him either. This should be a best of 3 of just straight up games versus straight up games, and that's what I look most forward to moving forward with this. But
yeah, I said before this started that I thought Gumiho.
I think Gumiho's gonna win. That's how good he is.
He would. GameTime might win. Like, he's playing the way that he played against Thermal. It was like action-packed. It was relentless aggression. He like didn't exactly out micro, but he just had so much presence. Where usually the Terran player is really supposed to be the one that has all the pressure being applied in the early game. And GameTime was able to flip that around on Thermal, who is pretty good.
Ooh.
I know Terrans everywhere are having trouble right now, as you watch people on Twitter complain, but this would be a nice test for GameTime.
Yo, this scan was such a bad scan. It's not bad in terms of like it didn't reveal much. It didn't reveal the important notes, which were over here, both the Spire and the Lair. He doesn't know about the third. He doesn't know about the natural. I don't think MaSa's screwed. Like, he's going for Marines and Stimpack. Like, you really can't go wrong with this. But it is a matter of like maybe he moves out at just the wrong time, and the mutas catch the medevacs, or they get to the mineral line as you leave the base. There's the scan that matters the most, the money shot, if you will. Money shot.
Yeah, that's nice. I guess he saw like what? He saw like literally nothing in the main base, and that's suspicious. You know, no evolution chambers, nothing, and then just in general, you really want to know, because some players do immediately medevac drop in the main base. The mutas would have caught that and killed it, and then they also depend on being able to pick up, and that's not the case anymore when it's mutas. So it is about being about being a lot safer, more composed when you do your pushes. But it is still like roughly the same game played, mind you. But you know, GameTime, I talked about his relentless aggression against Thermal, and some of that was backed off of deliberate aggression, not just moments that he saw an opportunity, but also like deliberately, I'm going to be aggressive to you, and you know, delaying upgrades, or you know, delaying like actually not making a lot of banelings instead he make a lot of lings. You know, it used to be a thing you did in Heart of the Swarm that would surprise Terrans who thought there was a certain pace of the game, and then the Zergs would flip it around on them and just kind of all in, kind of off of needle lane bling. But the script. Yeah, and I wonder if that's going to be the case. MaSa plays a pretty standard style, and while this isn't totally weird and out there, you know, it's not the proxy hatch. It's a different way to play Zerg, more aggressive way.
Well, one thing that is worth noting is GameTime's been given a surprisingly passive game. Like, MaSa hasn't been pushing, dropping, or attacking, and for that, you'd hope to see a lot more creeps from it. Oh, those Widow Mines are so good. 18 kills on one, 2 on another, 20 lings died through that attack. The mutas still start running through this, and MaSa still, despite that hit, might not have enough to stop this from killing some of these SCVs.
The lings make this the most oddly powerful thing. They are not upgraded going against MaSa's 1-1, and obviously they died a Widow Mine.
Oh, yeah, they do, and they die hard.
But they're so hard to clean up. You know, unlike, you know, the banelings waddle in or the mutas have to dodge out because they get weak, the lings continue coming, and when they get surrounds and stuff, they're hard to clean up. When they get in the mineral lines, they can do a lot of damage.
This didn't actually kill any SCVs, just FYI. Zero died. So on one hand, I'm kind of like, MaSa got some really stupid Widowmine hits. I mean, like, stupid good Widowmine hits. Like 18 shots on one, the other one got a bunch too. But the fact that he's able to somehow keep those SCVs alive, and I gotta be honest, I don't know how he did. Not a single one died. Well, there's the first step there.
That's shocking. GameTime, you know, his lane control isn't as quite as good as it needed to be against those Widow Mines. Plus, he would have really liked to have abused Widow Mines against the own Marines of MaSa by splashing on top of them. He never got to do that.
Another problem to this too was like the Overseers didn't get picked off early, so he had no vision to pick off these Widow Mines. They just kept recharging, reloading, and not quite the problem here now, but he's running out of juice. You know, these mutas, there's not that many. There's lings still on the way. I mean, he's continuing with the all-in, right? There's not really any upgrades coming behind this. There's no drones. So GameTime really wants to kill MaSa here. I don't know if he can.
It's such an all-in, he just taps that right there. I was going to go into, there is sometimes like a macro game after this, because the mutas, if they're alive and they grow into a count of 20 or 30, they can still do a lot of, buying time, but he gives up upgrades, centrifugal hooks. He didn't even get overseer speed, which is why so many of them died or got chased down. And just dealing no damage with the first attack, that is bad. Bad start for Nolan.
Well, that's just simply game number 1, though, and I really don't feel like that was a game to get tilted off of. You kind of just have to look at it and be like, look, okay, there were some stupidly lucky Widowmine shots, but generally speaking, MaSa was ready. It's not like he was caught with his pants down. He didn't get totally screwed by this.
Yeah. MaSa just might know how game time plays, too.
Yeah.
Thermal might not have.
There's certainly that chance, too. Let's see here. By the way, we still don't know the result of the bottom side, BioWise versus ours, who are officially fighting at this point. The winner of this will play them in that winners match finals. Who's down here? Looks like H-Jax gets an advance over B-Lord, who of course was removed from the tournament. Juggernaut Jason and Caliber still playing against one another. Nurgut and Future still playing. So we're starting to get to this point where we're really narrowing this down. Like, there are 6 or so players left at this point. However, only one can still get through.
Alright, they're both ready. Let's do it.
Alright, sequencer going to be the map of choice here. Swamp on over. So if you guys don't know about this, by the way, North by Northeast are the ones that are hosting the tournament. It's a big music and arts festival, and they've chosen to include some gaming content, which is cool. There's going to be non-StarCraft stuff there, but obviously with us coming, there's going to be some StarCraft stuff. But if you guys live in Toronto, it's going to be at Yonge Dundas Square, June 16th to 18th. As far as I'm aware, there's not really any admission. I think you just show up because it's a giant open plaza and enjoy your time. Terminator says, because he lives in the area, he went down to test, and there's just some open Wi-Fi spots. So you don't even have to worry about Wi-Fi way there either, which could be cool. So might just be some really good times if you guys are in the area. Definitely suggest coming down and, of course, hang out with me and Zombie Grub because, well, we're going to be bored. We want some people to hang out with. That being said, we got to get through these qualifiers and see which players come to join us. In the bottom left, we have the yellow Zerg player, GameTime, down 1 map.
In the top right, as the blue Terran, he is MaSa. I'm gonna need friends for even longer. I'm gonna be getting into Toronto on Wednesday. Who wants to buy me Tim Hortons?
Get that
ice caps only, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ice caps
tidbits are the stupid.
Okay, can we look? I understand that you don't like them, and you are of the wrong opinion that they are inferior. But can we at least call them the actual name? Tim
No.
Bits?
No, it makes it so much better. The tick bits.
Actually, I will say, well, it's kind of like a silly bit of comedy. One of my favorite jokes, or ongoing jokes in any show or any sketch, is like when people intentionally get the person's name wrong like 5 or 6 times in a row.
I mean, I love the 30 Rock thing where he's like, I intentionally call people the wrong name to like make sure they know their relationship with me or whatever.
Oh yeah, Jenna's also got the 5 most powerful words you can say to somebody you already met. Hi, it's nice to meet you.
Yep. Yep.
Well, MaSa, I don't know. I don't feel like there's really a lot to assess out of his gameplay. What I would like to do, though, is actually go back to that replay, go through the slow-mo engagements and see, like, was it just lucky Widowmine hits that took the steam out of GameTime's engines? Or, like, was there some sick hold positioning we had slightly missed out on? Like, there was a really good defense there. And to be honest, I can't precisely tell you why.
There might have been. But it really did seem like the Widowmines. As I described during the engagement, it's one part taking such nasty Widowmine hits on a group of Lings, and also second part that a lot of the power could be from literally having the Widowmine splash on them. You have them in a very confined space where their Marines have to stick together to defend against the Lings. And
it should shoot up.
That was quick.
That's all I'm saying.
That was pretty quick. Montiun wants you to drink.
$20. Wait. Do I get both at once?
Also,
I got
thank you,
this.
Veni Vidi. Well, let me do a camera stuff in a sec here. Thank you, Veni Vidici. Veni Vidi Vici. Fuck it, I can't say your name. Thank you for resubbing, though. I love you, man. Good seeing you on Nate's stream, too. And Nuznard for the 16 months, also. Well, let's get Zymegrub's camera up briefly so you guys can enjoy the shots. Shots. Everybody. What flavor are those?
This is the whipped chocolate.
Whipped chocolate. Yum.
The whip.
So you doing just the one?
Just,
Should I show off the camera?
Yeah, I just shot off the camera. I mean, that's what I said. You can't. I want to pace myself.
Excuse you. I will say I do wonder. Ooh, nice pick up on the Reaper. I wonder how your cats feel when you get drunk. You're like, Mom's being extra lovey today. Mom's being way too cuddly.
No. I don't think I've ever like. Well, maybe. I think like the cats came in and like I was like on one of the drunk streams and I was like, Apollo. And Apollo just like stared at me like, what the hell? Nugget hasn't seen me drunk yet. So.
Oh, she's about to meet Mom.
Exactly. Yeah.
Actually, didn't you say Nugget's kind of needy, or is it? No, it's Apollo that's needy.
Oh, Apollo is so needy. No, Nugget's
He probably
totally
loves it then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he does. He thinks I'm a little bit weird, but he loves it. I love him, and I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna have to cuddle with something else.
This is where you get one of those body pillows with your anime husbando on it.
Exactly. I'm gonna get the K-pop pillow. Hey.
I like to imagine, like, by day you're in love with like that yandere girl from Future Diary, and by night you're like
God.
all about the K-pop guys.
Okay. But I mean, I love her, but like I can't love her like that, you know? Like that's a little bit too weird. It's a complicated relationship.
I love that George tweeted back, by the way. He's like, "This is definitely not my style of show, but yo, I'm stuck like 12 episodes in."
I really hate it though because he's like it's the same thing for me. I didn't really like some of the, of course, the fan service that they did. A little bit of harassing going on here. Some nice, nicely done. But it does seem to be like just what you're gonna have to get with most animes, like 9% of animes, and it's more about the quality besides those moments that makes it or breaks it for me. So if someone's like, I need an anime that's really good without fan service, I'm gonna be like, there's none. There's like one. Here,
Yeah.
have it.
Fan service sells. It's the same reason girls on Twitch just the way they do them. Just. Also, big thank you to VP Aristotle, brand new sub joining the channel. I think this is the Riff Rules guy, so super shout outs to him. Wink. But MaSa was a little bit slower to get to the third. I was actually a little bit concerned there might even be Overlord creep dropping at this point, but GameTime not taking advantage of that. He does have it available, but Marines would shoot this off either way.
Missed opportunity. All right, well, Hellion Banshee versus just a regular macro game for the Zerg player, and MaSa very, fluidly into third base. Banshee's still alive.
Yeah, I mean, some Hellions got by earlier and killed drones, and that was really cool, but generally speaking here, there's actually not that much that's been killed. And you look at this, you're like, oh, wow, 16 workers dead. Why aren't you making a bigger deal of this? This is game time's on 70 workers. Like, MaSa really didn't commit to damage, so there was an allowance for drones to die.
An allowance. Hey, I mean, it's kind of the thing, like, especially on these longer maps. I do like the word allowance, to be honest, because, like, they both went into a macro game knowingly so. Like, there was a fast third base, and then there was, of course, game time with the upgrades and the regular hatcheries that Zerg would take. And you do all this damage with Hellions or Banshees, and you're thinking, I'm doing great, but because it takes so long for further aggression to occur, it sometimes doesn't matter. So there really is like an allowance for drones.
Well, I was watching
but Ling's
the
in here.
Yeah, I didn't realize this was snuck across the map. I was really curious to see where the Banshees were going too. I was keeping an eye on them for the mini map, but those run in only to take some Widowmine hits and only get 2 SCV kills. I like that GameTime actually chooses not to commit with this. He didn't know whether he'd be able to break that bunker. There's some really cool surface area going down on it too. And with this wall off, there wasn't really an easy escape. So this is a good choice out of GameTime to disengage. But as he comes back home, he's going to be really happy he did, because now he has all the forces to deal with these drops.
Yeah. But MaSa took forever to get to the other, like the very corner of the map, and all he did was kill an Overlord. I mean, he didn't even really get creep spread, which is the better way to play most of the time with any type of 16 Marine drop, is to be conservative and bulk up later. But it still is like a long time coming, and GameTime has had a lot of time to prepare. If he loses a fourth base, that would be really nice. That would totally be GameTime's fault, so good thing he's responding to it. Bane's even just kicked in. Instantly it picks up.
Well, thank you, Epi35 for the 26-month resub, and then Tao _ for the 22. Both long-time resub. Yeah, I gotta tell you guys, I still get blown away every time we see subs over like 5 months. So thank you so much for that continued support. Banshees on the left side are driven off, but man, these have already kind of exceeded their use. They haven't killed a lot, but they've distracted a lot. I think, for example, the mutas are on the left side and not chasing the mutas here on the right, or the medevacs here on the right side.
Yeah. With the platforms that Sequencer has, of course, the Terran's going to be pushing uphill. The mutas, I don't think, are in such a need, but it is being distracted.
It's banelings, it's on creep, but yo, that went so poorly for MaSa. The Widowmine did not hit the mark, and the Marines were not split good enough, so he's going to lose everything to this. Medevacs boost away desperately to the reinforcements. Hopefully these Widowmines can get some connections. Maybe he used all his luck up in that last game, though. I mean, seriously, that was some ridiculous Widowmine shots in game 1.
Yeah. Baiting out the Widowmine shots, so there are still 4 more. Game time can never be too confident. Well, once again, skipping Overlord speed, which is also Overseer speed.
1 Widowmine shot left in this. Gets a good chunk of the banlings. Looks like splits will cover the rest. Mutas will not be enough to cover this, and MaSa's going to take a pretty good fight. This was pretty tight, though. Like, this got a little bit scary. Game time, you could say, got way too overextended off of creep, but he wanted to keep MaSa from pushing in on his base.
Interesting with the Spine Crawler. Totally, like, 99% useless mid-late games, but...
So the Fear Dragon Spine Crawler.
Exactly. Looks like that overextension in the middle of the map might have actually been a lot worse, you know? Generally, when they start overextending like that, they're also building lings and banelings behind, but he was like a little bit late to it. Looked concerning for a second, but MaSa is pushed back. Now, game time, you need to get some creeps right over here, and then he can feel really confident about this base.
I like the idea of a Fear Dragon Spine Crawler, where it's just like not actually attacking, but writing useless facts on the creep, like sand.
I just want every attack it to be like that face where he's like making a really derpy like face, and then when it dies, it's that face in the airport which is like, this is my life now.
I'm sure if you asked Joey nice enough, you could mod it. I would love to like prank Fear Dragon though, like because Joey does mods for him too. Anyways, talk about that after. Marauders on the front line start making the banelings less of an issue. Marines reach out in the back, but they don't even die. Widowmines are still standing, and Game Time's in some trouble. He does cut off reinforcements with the mutants, which is not a bad choice, but there's not really any banelings left to keep this hatchery alive, and it's going to go down.
It's really a lot to do with the link count as well. There's so many Marauders that are willing to tank the banelings, getting around them as improving difficult, but he finally cleans it up, Widowmines included.
Uh-oh, so bleed us mutas though.
Well, he loses the base. There's no save on this location anymore, but he did take another 4th to the left. Just it doesn't have any like double the gas. But actually, neither did this one. I keep forgetting about Sequencer. There's so many bases that don't have a second gas, so this really is just transferring over. And maybe he should have given that back anyways. Like cut your losses, pull the drones. He probably should have. Oh, hindsight.
Oh, drones still rallied over there. Game Time's running out of steam. He just made a huge round of lings, and that's really cool to see. But MaSa is just, whatever he loses on the front line, easily replacing this. His army supply rarely dips even when units are dying.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many medevacs left alive, too. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
I would say stop making medevacs.
What's really concerning for Game Time is a lot to do with how his mutas have been used. Certainly there's been some times where his lings are a little bit late, and then his banlings are a little bit late, and that like really snowballs. But his mutas have never really crossed the halfway point. They haven't really been target firing down Widowmines or medevacs or even Marauders. They've cut off reinforcements a couple times, which is good, but not exactly what I think you would want. And that, that's not really, he hasn't really been able to take advantage of such a long map as Sequencer because his creep has been constantly denied and his mutas have never been able to pull back the army.
Widowmines end up friendly firing a little bit more than anything else, but there just isn't enough for them to hit. You just come in, looking for the shots. Family's going off on the Marauders, taking out the Widowmine, starts pushing this back. But MaSa's dropping the left side of the map while this goes on, and that base that he had made cleared out. Hatchery gonna die. And so much dedication to this fight. Kills a lot of medevacs, kills a lot of important units, but I think he gave up too much for it. And while this goes on, there's no transition to Hive. This is so much trouble.
Oh yeah, that's true too. A single drop not only kills the hatchery, but gets out alive. Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. That's pretty brutal. MaSa is taking a 5th, actually, with his orbital. Nice. This puts him in a very good position, and of course 3-3 finished up a long time ago.
Yeah, comes with the main. By the way, shout out to thank you to Maynard for that host, brother. Hope you're having a good night. Hope you had a good stream. Tune in just in time to watch some Terran Ponage. Although, I still wouldn't count game time out just yet. The thing is, well, it's not looking so great now. Look at the income advantage for this game, right? Like, he's regularly had leads throughout the last 10 minutes. So, everything he's lost has been expensive and costly, but when we look at the resources lost, game time actually had money to lose. But I think at this point, it might be starting to snowball for MaSa just a little too much with all these bases going down, with all the creep spread not being replaced.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to bring up. The fact that creep spread gives game time very little advance notice about pushes, and of course is a detriment to his banelings. That's too bad. That's probably what's going to kill him more than anything else. The mutas are trying to bring the army back, but it's not quite working out there.
GG. MaSa takes the series and goes on to the winners bracket finals. Now, some of you may be unfamiliar with how the format works for this, so I'd like to explain really quick that the finals is like whatever. Because it is a double elimination tournament, we are giving the winners final the advantage of 2 best-of-3s. MaSa, if he can win against either BioIce or ours, is in a phenomenally favorable spot to win the tournament. By being in that winners bracket, like actual finals, you have 2 best-of-3s in your back pocket. No matter who you play against, it gives you really good odds to win and qualify. But that being said, I guess we'll be waiting for, the result of BioIce and ours. Bottom side of the bracket, some good players down there. We'll continue to watch them and update you guys as the tournament proceeds, but we'll go to a commercial break for now, and we'll be back shortly with more. Also, quick reminder that when we get to the grand finals of the actual tournament, we're going to be doing a Partouf giveaway in terms of a raffle for one of the BaseTradeTV chat meme shirts. Also, whoever is the current bit boss at the end of stream today will also get one of the shirts. So right now it's Monty Oon with 904 HP. If you guys don't know how the bit boss works, when you donate or when you cheer bits, 1 bit or 1 cent on your donation will do 1 damage to the boss. And going from there, you can kill the boss, become the new boss, and etc. It's fun. It's a little mini game, but you can also get some prizes for it because we like to give away boss loot, quote unquote, when we can. So sit tight, and we'll be back with more games soon.